over the weekend, I met an individual that had three strokes and still would not listen to a caring heart. Just wouldn't. And I wanted to share the story with you that maybe you may have a friend, maybe yourself out there that possibly had a stroke, maybe going through this process right now, or maybe don't know what to do. And I wanted to share the stuff I wanted to share with him. I want to share with you, and hopefully he may watch this. Hopefully so, and I hope he does. I really do. I feel for him. I feel for him. Mm-mm. But let's get right into it. So I met this individual. One of my good friends. They own a restaurant here in the town I'm in, and they had a big festival going on this weekend. So I went down and helped out. He said he needed help. And I said, "What the heck? I'll go help out." Also gave me a different perspective about life too. It did me. It gave me a new perspective for what he does as a living. It gave me a true new perspective. Interested other people too in the you know restaurant industry and all that, waiting staff and all that. It just gave me a whole new perspective about life. But it was cool to do for 2 days. Could I do forever? Nah, not me. I couldn't. I just couldn't. But I tip my hat off to those that do that. But anyways, I met this individual where I was sitting doing. I walked in and I was sitting doing some tasks they gave me. And this individual showed me how to do the task. And he started talking about it. He said he had three strokes. No way. I'm thinking in my head, no way. This is big time. This is. I wonder. Hopefully, this guy knows how blessed he is to be to where he's at right now, and to be walking around like he is, and not having any ailments. And he said that he had a little like a droopy face he had at one time, and he had like saliva coming out, but now it's better. Like, great, great, great. But I don't know the time frame of when he had these strokes. So that was on Saturday. So I was like, okay, should I talk to him about it then? So nah, let me stop. Let me backtrack and let me just hold tight here and kind of get to know him a little bit more. And then possibly on Sunday, when the last day of this event, then I'll talk to him about it. So Sunday comes up, Saturday's over, Sunday comes up, and we start talking a little bit. And I was about to leave, and I was like, okay, guys, I'm out here and everything. And when I said I was out of here, for some reason it came about. I said I'm gonna get some more sleep. He said, yeah, sleep is. They say that we need more sleep and all that, and there's all a bunch of lies and stuff like that. And I said, somewhat it is. Um, and somewhat is not. And I was trying to explain to him that every individual they recommend 8 hours of sleep. They recommend. Some people say they get 6 hours sleep, they're fine. Some people say they get 5 hours sleep, they're fine. Some people need 8 hours and they're better when they get 8 hours of sleep. Myself, I know when I sleep at least, I'll say 6 hours and 30 minutes and more, I feel rejuvenated. I feel like I can take on anything. Okay, less than that, you know, I know there's some there is slow reaction time. All type of elements happen if you don't get a proper enough sleep and everything. You probably can still get the job done you need to get done, but it's going to be as clear in your brain. It's not going to be smooth. It's just not. So I was trying to explain that to him in a roundabout way, and this guy just started talking over me. And I said, okay. And people start talking over me. I just kind of, it's obvious they want to talk. So as an adult, I would just, okay, we supposed to take turns talking. This individual, for some reason, I guess didn't learn that or whatever. I don't know. So we started talking more about sleep. And I said, you got time? I want to show something to you. And he said, oh, I got time. So I got a piece of paper out and I wrote down 5 things. And the top of it, it said stress at the top. Because he said that his job caused him the only stress he has in life is his job. That's what caused him the stress that made him have a stroke, he said. And I said, maybe somewhat stress we have in our life that comes from our job. It can. But there's the whole thing? Nah, there's other things we can do. There's other things we can do and all. I was trying to explain to him this, but he wouldn't allow me to share it with. And that's the thing I'm trying to get at here. So I wrote down stress and I wrote down 5 circles. And the 5 circles were nutrition, that he says he's doing perfectly. And I didn't get to truly get the act. I want to find out what was perfect for his mindset. Nutrition, working out, um, environment, of course, that you live in, your work, and then the other one was nutrition. I don't know if I said nutrition. Nutrition is a big one here, and I think that was it right there. So I was trying to explain it to him, and then as soon as he said, "There's a work is for only thing for me. Work is the cause of stress in my life and all that. That's it." And I said, "Well, there's other factors than just your work, because we all work, and some people have stress. Some people possibly had some ailments that may be linked to their job, and then some possibly not. Maybe it might be linked to at home. It could be for some people. Maybe because they didn't check their blood pressure. Maybe they was under they didn't know they had they had high blood pressure or high cholesterol. They didn't get their yearly checkup. They didn't get to do that. Or maybe if they're older, maybe 2 time a year checkup. They wasn't monitoring their blood pressure. Maybe that's it. So so I didn't get the chance to talk to him about that. And I asked him 2 times. I asked him. I said, are you okay with me to share this with you?" And I did the circle thing, and then he interrupted me. Stress on my job only. Stress on my job only. I said, "Okay, this guy's not ready to listen yet." So I said, "I'm gonna do it one more time here." I said, "Do you mind me sharing this?" And then I said, "Well, it's this," and he cut me off again. I told him, I said, "Hold up, there's a great parable out there, a great message in the Bible that says what it says. It says, I just lost it. Just lost it here. It says that you don't cast pearls onto swines. And I might have used this, I think, one time on this channel before. I said that you don't cast pearls on swines. And he said, "What does that mean?" I said, "What does that mean is that you have currency coming out of my mouth that I'm speaking right now to you. I could be charging you, but I'm not, of course. I have knowledge here I want to give to you, and I want you not to hear me, to listen to me." And he couldn't do that. So I stopped talking about it. Because they always say that you want to work with people that actually want to work with you. If they don't work with you, they'll get the message from someone else out here. But I thought we may connect and all that. We're both, you know, both around this, I don't say right around the same age, but you know, he's 8 years older than me, but we're in that same range of 50. And things are changing at 50. They do. Even at 40, even at 30s, things are changing in your body. But I really wanted to share a few things with him, but I didn't get the chance to share that with him because he just blew me off like that. But there's 2 types of strokes out there. There's one called ischemic, ischemic stroke and a hemorrhagic stroke. There's 2 types and all that, and that's another whole element there about that. Um, Ischemic hemorrhagic, and also there's something called TIA, and then that's a little more details. But what I really want to get at here, and I'm going to actually be looking at my laptop, and that's just what I was doing right there. There's different risk factors, and I wanted to share the risk factors with this guy too. There's another thing I want to share. There's risk factors that can be preventable and possibly treatable right here. And some of ours are the lifestyle that we choose to do. Lifestyle, they said, being overweight. This guy was overweight. Being physically inactive. This guy was not active. He didn't share that with me. Heavy binge drinking. Heavy drinking or binge drinking. I know he does drink, this guy. I know he does smoke. But more than that, I don't know. And I want to ask him more about that. And they say also too another one, life risk factors. They say on my computer that I'm looking at, so I'm looking to the side here. They said that illegal drug use too. They say cocaine and amphetamines. Some medical risk factors here: be high blood pressure, cigarette smoking, secondhand smoke, even firsthand smoke. Of course, just regular cigarette smoking, high cholesterol, diabetes, obstructive sleep apnea, different cardiovascular disease here like heart failure, heart defect, heart infections, irregular heart rhythms, and such as arrhythmia, not arrhythmia, actually, atrial fibrillation, excuse me, AFib, basically. A history of family of strokes, of heart attacks, of TIAs, also too said COVID infection. This is another one right here too. It said the high probability of people having strokes is in this category here. Check it out. There's four categories that give people a higher risk of having strokes. One is being over the age of 55. This guy's 58. Race here, ethnicity. They said here, I didn't say that. I always say that wrong. African American or Hispanic. This guy's African American. The sex here, being a male, makes you higher risk of stroke. He is a male. And then hormones here. And hormones, they talk about more birth control. People that take birth control, of course, are higher chance of having a stroke. Yep, yep. But what I did here, and I want to give you some solutions. Those are some things that you can. Those are some of the things that we can prevent. So I want to give you some more solutions. And I said, let me do this. Let me actually look in ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT what they think about this individual here. And I didn't put in ChatGPT. I didn't say when the time frame of the strokes. And I don't know the information. All the information I do know, he's 58 years old, had 3 strokes, and does not work out. Smokes or vape. Inhale stuff. And I know he uses alcohol, and sleep is not the best here. And he's stressed out, like he told me multiple times, stressed out about work. So I looked up and chat GBT what we should do for this person here. And this is what I came up with here. And this is really good stuff here. This stuff here, of course, you can use for yourself here. Of course, talk to your doctor first. Of course, your own personal healthcare provider, doctor, nurse practitioner, PA, whoever you work with. Talk to them first, of course, your nutritionist. But this is something that this individual should be doing. The one I met today, or met yesterday, he should be followed up with his neurologist, of course. Here, first of all, neurologist in primary care. 1 to 3 months afterwards, you should be following up with them. And when he follows with them, he should be following up to make sure his blood pressure is in check, heart rhythm's okay, cholesterol and blood sugar is okay, and also that he's adhering to any kind of medication that they gave him to take. Another big thing was nutrition factor, nutrition and hydration. And I wanted to talk to him about that, but he was only saying stress my job, stress my job. There's other factors that can possibly enhance the fact of having a stroke. And one of them, of course, is nutrition and hydration. Of course, you would like to eat more whole foods. Whole foods, let me help you out. Vegetables, beans, fish, fruit, whole grains, stuff like that. You want to cut back on fried foods, salty stuff here, sugary drinks, processed meats. Stuff I saw meat this weekend were the list right there that I just said. There's salty food, fried foods, sugary drinks, and processed meats. Absolutely. Um, Drinking plenty of water. Mm, that's one thing to decrease the chances of stroke here. I want to hear too. Movement, of course. Movement is a big one here. Simple as walking. Walking. Walking 15, 20 minutes, they say here. Doing some stretching, doing a workout if you can workout here. The main thing, you want to increase your blood flow and decrease the chance of any kind of clots happening there. Lifestyle environment, they said. Lifestyle environments is the fourth thing they said that you can change about your life here. No smoking at all here. This guy smokes. He does. Smoking is a major trigger for another stroke here. This guy smokes. I don't know. I know he vapes and smokes regular cigarettes. Heavy use of alcohol. I don't know. I don't know what type of, but ideally, you want to use none. Actually, he had 3 strokes. 3 strokes. You don't want to take the chance. Sleep apnea is common in African American men. Increased risk of stroke. Yep, absolutely. And this guy is not. I feel for him. And also managing stress. And that's what I want to talk to him. Managing stress here. Okay, you say your job is stressful. So how can you manage it? Okay, maybe you can't quit your job. So how can you manage it? Your job is in your life, but how can you manage it? Yes, my job, my job, my job. That's all he kept saying. I'm thinking, okay, so what are you doing about it? Are you doing yoga? Are you working out? Are you getting enough sleep? All these help you bring down a notch when you at work, and this work is so stressful that you have other factors that you did outside your life that are hopefully that you bring down to work, make your work less stressful. I know you just haven't been at one job. So you're different, you go different places. So it's not the job, it's you. That's what I want to share with them. Some things you can do. You can take control of your own life and help yourself out from having another stroke. But one thing you can do, I'm going to read this off the list here, is to manage your stress, being mindfulness, music, praying, having a calming routine that will lower your blood pressure. That's all I wanted to share with this guy, but this guy never did. A mental and emotional support. Exactly. After having multiple strokes, yeah, you want to maybe even join a stroke survival program group they may have. Maybe a faith based support network. That people that had strokes or just medical conditions. Right now he says he's fine right now, of course himself. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing there. And just knowing, I would know what's called the FAST method here. The FAST rule. The FAST rule, of course, stands for face drooping, arm weakness, speech difficulty, and time to call the emergency service. I would know those aspects of a stroke. That's called FAST. That's called here. Those things you want to know if someone's possibly having a stroke is those right there. And I want to talk to more about everything, but but he wasn't ready to listen. And I feel for him. Hopefully, you watch this video. Hopefully, maybe someone may share this video with them. Um, but at the end of the day, I realized that everybody is here to live the life they choose to live. Like I was sharing with him that I see the world differently. The fact that I grew up 9 years in Germany, I see the world differently. And I played soccer over there in Germany, starting as a kid. Now I came back over here and played soccer in college. I see the world differently because the fact that I just got introduced with playing soccer versus other individuals that maybe never heard of soccer until they turned, until they were in high school, heard about soccer, or even thought about soccer at all, what have you. So at the end of the day, this is what I want to wrap everything up here. I want to summarize all this right here. Every choice either is to protect or pressure the brain. Let me read that again here. Every choice either protects or excuse me, or preserves the brain. Excuse me. I apologize, guys. I apologize. I'm keep that in there. Every choice either protects or preserves the brain. You get to make the choice out here. And that's what the best thing about life. You have free will. You have free will to do exactly what you want to do. Gemma chose to talk on and on and on and on and on, and I- and it bothers me. And this happened maybe about nine, maybe about 7 hours, about 6 hours ago. I would say it happened, and I feel for him. I feel for him. It motivated me to do a long form video here, and I hope you guys watch this whole video through. Like and subscribe to the channel. Of course, if you want personal health coaching with me or life coaching just in general, I have a counter link at the bottom in the description. Definitely join up on that. I've been helping people out. Like I said, I call it the more like the Tom Brady mindset of life, because I've seen so many things I've seen, and so many aspects of life. It's amazing. I'll share more with you guys on this channel, but I had to share that story right there. This gentleman had 3 strokes and still would not listen. And if anything, if I was him, I would listen to not for if not for him, I'll listen for my loved ones. Because when things happen, the things it's almost like having a heart attack. When they say when you have a heart attack, it's really changing you have another heart attack, another heart attack, another heart attack, another heart. And a stroke, you know, some factors you need to be. If I was him, I'd be working out. I wouldn't smoke. I wouldn't drink. I would eat proper food. Proper meaning I would have my vegetables, like basically how I'm doing now. Protein, I'll make sure on that. I'll get weight training at least, you know, 3 times a week. I'll get weight training there. Cardio, I would do. I would try to do steady state cardio, walking, or maybe I possibly buy a treatment for the home. I'll keep my lifestyle as healthy as possible. After having 3 strokes, and all I have is just a little droop of the face. That's it. And it wasn't much at all. He showed me and everything, but it wasn't bad at first. And just the fact of all that going on, I will be showing so much. I'll be so thankful that try to do. I would try to do everything in my life to the T of what I just read out a few minutes ago. So you have every choice to protect or put pressure or preserve the brain. You have that choice. So with that said, guys, I wish you guys the best out there. Stay strong, and we'll talk to you soon.